to Masters of Music Podcast.
I'm Voldemort.
I am Derek.
And this is episode 20.
Episode 20? I gotta change my outfit, like, now! Oh. That's more, I like it.
This week we have...
The next big thing, Brittany Bowman, an excellent session drummer, multi-instrumentalist. We've played a couple of shows together, and she rocks super hard.
Yeah, guys, she's super awesome. And everybody, please like and subscribe right now because it really does help us keep on keeping on.
Yes, we need to work with the algorithm and get on all sorts of feeds, and that way we get to produce more stuff for you guys.
Yeah. So, but we got to move on now because it's time for Music News! Anything
Going on, anybody?
You guys got anything going on?
Okay, well, there's a lot going on, a lot of positive, negative things, but one of the worst things going on is as soon as you walk into a restaurant, a mall, or turn your car on with the stereo on, you get a lot of Christmas music since November 1st. So we thought we would give you our top 5 recommendations for best, our favorite 5 Christmas songs.
Yeah, so you can actually listen to something that's not garbage.
Yes. Not too cheesy, not too fluffy. Something sick, brother.
Hey guys, so my top 5 starts with All I Want for Christmas by My Chem.
My Chemical Romance, that is.
Yeah, super awesome. It's cool. It's kind of dark, and it's a good rendition of that song. My second one, guys, is Christmas Time by The Darkness.
Oh, that's
Guys,
a good
check that one out. Super badass solos and everything.
That's a good one.
Next one is Adam Sandler's The Christmas Song. It's fucking badass, super funny. It's lighthearted. It's everything you need. Yeah. My next one is Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. It's super awesome, and it's like the perfect Christmas song to me. And it's also because I'm bilingual. It's in both languages.
Yeah, and it works great with his name, Feliz Navidad, Jose Feliciano.
Yeah. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
My last one is anything by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They're super badass, but you guys should check out Carol of the Bells if you haven't heard that one. But it's super badass. Everything that they do is fucking amazing.
They mix metal or rock and roll with orchestral beauty. It's awesome.
Yeah, super sick. It's kind of like the perfect Christmas for anybody who likes guitars.
None of this garbage. This is Christmas.
Number 1, Happy Xmas, War is Over by John Lennon. Beautiful melodies. It's wonderful. And it's political statement, hard driving, just kick ass. It was awesome. Yoko has a feature vocal on it. Number 2 is Baby, It's Cold Outside. I know it's quite controversial. They've made other versions of it, but I think it's well written. It's beautiful. Thanks to the movie Elf. You know, you showed me that movie when I was younger. That was also a very controversial scene.
Yeah, that was a really rapey scene, singing a really rapey song.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, they're in New York City. It's a funny scene, but they sing it so well, and yeah, that got me into it. I just love the musicality of it. It's the vocal lines are like violin parts. They interweave within each other. It's like I've never heard anything like it. So, great song. Number 3 is your number 1, except the original. All I Want for Christmas is You by Mariah Carey, 1994-ish or something like that. I like it because it kind of like broke, like it was hard to have a super smash hit Christmas song for like 40 years. And then she came in and it's like, here's one of the top selling Christmas hits of all time. Number 4 is, well, you said the Adam Sandler song. I'm saying if I can, the whole track list from 8 Crazy Nights, the movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's only like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, it's freaking great. All those songs are beautifully written. I don't know if he wrote, and Hanukkah song is on there, amazing song. But it's also like the third version. There's like he changes it every 10 years or so because there's new celebrities to talk about.
Yeah.
So the Hanukkah song, but there's Davy's song, which is like an anti-Christmas song. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm the kind of guy who can't stand the holidays, so I drink them all away. That's me.
Yeah.
I don't decorate no trees. I don't like no potato lackeys, but I'll give this old lady's melons a squeeze. That's just who I am. Ta-ga-ga-ga-ga. My number 5, my final one, is What's This? By Danny Elfman for the major motion picture A Nightmare Before Christmas. It's unsuspecting. It's this really catchy, beautifully written song. He's like talking about all these crazy things. It's like discovering Christmas for the first time. It makes me feel like I'm discovering Christmas for the first time.
Yeah, it's a great scene and a great song.
Great song. Yeah. So, and Danny Elfman, he's the man.
Hell yeah.
He's the Elfman. All right, well, we got to move on. That's our top 5. Please like and subscribe.
Woo! Please like and subscribe, and also write a comment down below if you guys like any of the songs we like or any other Christmas songs we should check out. That's super awesome.
Yeah, let us know. I'd love to hear some more.
Hell yeah, guys. But we got to move on because it's time for
Brittany Bowman! One thing we want to know is, how did Brittany Bowman become Brittany Bowman? What made you pick up the drum set? What made you pick up the sticks? I already read a little bit about you. I know you were 5 when you were like playing
funny
Neil
is I started playing guitar first. Was like, that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to play guitar. That's going to be my thing. What got me really into music, I guess I've always had an interest for music since I was tiny. But the biggest thing for me was when I heard American Idiot, and I didn't even hear it on the American Idiot album. I heard the single American Idiot on a Grammy nominee CD in 2005. And, Grammy nominees, it's like a whole bunch of genres of music and stuff. And that one stood out to me. And I had to be 9, I guess, like 10. I was 10. And so I heard that, and that's really what kickstarted me to want to play guitar. And then it's funny because people have asked me this before, and I don't really know what made me want to do drums instead. I think I always felt naturally inclined more to drums, and it was also easier for me to do. I didn't feel like it was as challenging to overcome certain things on the drums. Not that there's still so much, obviously, stuff that I need to overcome, but it felt easier for me to do it. So I've kind of always, had more of a love for drums, but I actually didn't start on drums. I started on guitar. So.
Whoa, that's crazy. Damn.
Yeah.
What were the first guitar songs you learned?
Like Smoke on the Water.
Nice.
And just super simple stuff. Like, what else did I learn? Like Iron Man, just like really easy stuff. But I swear, like, Green Day was everything to me. I not just like American Idiot's the first album I heard, but then I went way back, not just with Dookie, but like all their in between albums and everything. And so I would just play Green Day all the time. And then it turned into just pop punk in general. Gosh, I don't even know. But, the Beatles, I remember they were one of the first bands that I remember my mom playing around the house. So yeah, it kind of goes back pretty far, but I also feel like it's not one of those clear cut paths. Like a lot of people have like this story that like started it all. And for me, it was just kind of like, I don't really remember a clear cut time, but I just know I've been interested in music for, forever.
Forever.
Damn. Do you play any other instruments or?
Yeah.
I feel I play bass like a guitar, like a guitar player plays bass, it's like root notes and like that kind of thing. So I don't really like saying I play bass because it's like, but yeah, so I guess I could kind of play bass, and then just guitar and drums are like my two like loves. I love that. But yeah, nothing else. I wish I could play piano. I've always wanted to play piano, just sit down and like, it'd be so great. And I wish I could sing, which I know I just posted a clip. No, I don't. That doesn't count.
That does count. Is that your first video with vocals ever?
Yeah, I've never done that before.
Whoa! Yeah, just like the other week, just like a week ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a week ago, and I don't know if I'm going to do that again, but I did it.
It was awesome. You had stacked vocals and stuff. It was awesome.
I love doing harmony stuff, which is super fun, and maybe I'll do more of it. But that's another thing is I don't know if I should do as much of like the full covers type things for Instagram and YouTube, or if I should just stick with drums and blah, blah, blah. I go in modes and, because it is time consuming too to record and then edit and do everything, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do it again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man. I think you should totally keep expanding, or even just do just a vocal video. Like, not even anything. Yeah.
I might. I'll have to work my way up in like baby steps.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man. Do you do you do a lot of film editing? Do you do like any, do you act at all, kind of? Have you ever acted?
I wanted to when I was younger. I totally wanted to, but I didn't. I mean, I grew up in a little tiny suburb in Illinois, and there was absolutely nothing to do there, which is probably why I just played music all the time. And then when I came out here, it's like LA's the spot to do it, but I was already, 19 or 20 when I moved. I'm not. Yeah. But I mean, I would have, and maybe in another world, that would have been my career choice, but.
You're not from Aurora, are you? Aurora?
I am close. Well, I wouldn't say super close, but I know exactly where that is.
Oh, okay. Because that's where the Wayne's World guys are from.
Oh my gosh, that's
Aurora,
right.
Illinois. But I was gonna ask you, Brittany. So how did you learn? Some of those songs are so short notice, like two nights before, the night before. Sometimes, like learn the song. Right. What'd you do? How'd you learn the songs? Did you just run them, or did you kind of like get it once?
When I first moved here, I was like, it was before I had my studio, so I would go to amp rehearsal, or this is like a little weird random tip, which I guess you can't really do now, but like I always go to Guitar Center and just bring my own like extension cord thing and go to the electronic kit and just plug into their speaker, and I would just like sit there and like practice, because I wanted to drum every day, but I didn't have a studio space at the time. And I didn't want to spend, however much at amp. So I would just always go to Guitar Center. So sometimes I would just sit there, because sometimes you wouldn't know your song, like you said, till a couple days before. So I would just, jam it in a whole day and like really get my parts down. And then like, as time goes on, like a couple of 2 years after or whatever, I would sometimes, if it was a song I already knew, at least with drums, with the guitar, I really wanted to like practice because I'm not as good at guitar, but with drums, I would just like listen to the song on the way there, like if I really didn't have a lot of time. But I guess it just kind of depends, and it depends on like the song, and like I know I played a couple AC/DC songs sometimes, and like I know those by heart, so you don't have to really worry about those ones as much. But other ones, But the thing about the jams too that always drove me nuts, which I love them because I've met so many people like you and everything through them, but it was so frustrating too when you do spend like hours like nailing your parts and making sure it's exactly like the recording, and you have it down, and then someone shows up and they like have no clue what they're doing. I mean, I had a couple people, like I remember one time someone was like, afterwards came up to me and apologized, like, oh, sorry, like I just didn't learn the song, like I didn't, I didn't go over it. And I'm like, why are you here though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just screwing yourself, like you're screwing other people. And at the time, I wasn't playing with many people outside of the jam. So it was like my one night of the week to just like have fun and like go up there. And I was so jammed and stoked to get on stage. And then you get up there, and when someone messes it up, and it's just like humiliating, and you were so excited. And so I found that happened quite a bit at the jams too, which was like, kind of a bummer sometimes. But when you got up there with like people who really knew what they were doing, it's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Those relationships last a while. Like when you play one good song with like a dope ass person, you're like, all right, you start working.
That's where I saw you. That's where I found out who you were. I think it was at Viper. Yeah, it was at the Viper Room. Yeah. Yeah. Because I was with Pete, and we were like, I've told you this before, but just for the sake of this interview or whatever, we were just like, because we had no idea who you were, and you're like trying to like plug in your guitar, and you're like doing and me and Pete are just like, dude, like this dude, who is this dude? Like, what is he like? He's doing like 3 songs in the middle. You were like tuning your guitar, and you're like, and I don't remember like what you were wearing, but you were like wearing some like crazy cool like thing, but we were just like what is this like? And I think you had like, Eric like gave you like 3 songs in the middle, and we're just like, all right, like whatever, like this is gonna be just another one of those jam things. And like you started playing, and we were like, what the fuck, like who is this dude? It was like we literally were just like and I'm not saying it's like because I'm on your show or whatever to like make you look good. I'm genuinely like, I mean it though. Like you have something about you that's just like, you can't really like teach it or whatever. And it sounds so cliche and so stupid, but like your stuff is just so genuinely good. And like everybody I've talked to, like Walter's got a studio down the hall and like we talk about you all the time. Like everyone that talks about you, like you just have your shit dialed and like you're so good at what you do. So yeah, so that was the first time I guess I saw you. And I don't even remember like meeting you really officially, but yeah.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. Thanks so much. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm dialed in at all because I'm still kind of like tuning my guitar on stage.
You're like you know what I mean? Like like you've got your thing.
Yeah.
Like you're very much Derek. And it's like, but that's what's cool is there's so many people that are just imitating other people, or even they try and be original, but it just doesn't. And it's like, you've just naturally got like your thing. So that's cool.
Yes. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. That is
I'm serious.
awesome.
It's cool. Yeah. Your stuff. It's so fun. Yeah. So, but yeah, that all because of the jams. So yeah, about the jams, like that's how that all happened. And then I think we've only played together. I don't know if was when me and Leanne played, whatchamacallit? Why am I blanking?
Township Rebellion by...
Yeah, was that the first time we played at a jam together? Or had I shared the stage with you before?
I think we never played before, except we just played once together, and that was freaking Township Rebellion, Benning the Jets.
That's right.
And then that's it, or one more? I can't remember.
I think that's it.
I think that was it. Benning the Jets and Township, and then... That was it.
Which Benny and the Jets, like your version of that, man. That's the okay. That was when I heard it. Yeah, that was the song I heard you play at the jam, and I was like, what? Because that song is just, yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And that song it's your version of like it's so good. Do you have a recorded version of it?
I do. It's on like Bandcamp, and it's like it's still up there. I just keep it there, just away from the public.
Like you fucking put that shit on spot. It's so like you need to do something with that. Like, I don't know. So good.
Oh, thanks. Okay, well, okay. Maybe I'll like. I don't know about something about the recording is kind of like I don't know. It's a little muffled sounding. Maybe.
Re-record it.
Why don't you freaking do the drums, and then send me the track, and I'll do the guitars, and then we'll just put it up live version.
I will literally. I'm serious. I'll do that.
Boom. All right. Perfect.
Yeah, I think Derek's a lot of his performances comes out better live.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah,
you totally do, because there's so many people that you hear their live, their recorded stuff, and you see them live, and it's just like, but it's like for you, it's like your whole personality comes out when you play, and it's like like a whole other realm of like experience. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
of course.
I think it's hard to find like artists for people to be like, yeah, you should come and go see this band, and then I usually ask, are they better than their CD, and then they're like, no, okay, so I'm not going to go see the band. Yeah. But I think Derek needs to find a producer that can produce him and get him on the CD instead of making him play on a CD.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And you've totally got that. Like every time you play live, like your energy just comes out through, which you sound, obviously your songs recorded are amazing, but it's like that spark that you have when people see you perform too, like that comes out when you're live. It's like that adds so much to it. So yeah, I just can't wait to get back to that too. I hope little shows like that start happening again, like even jam nights and just different things. Cause it's like, I wouldn't go to many shows. Like that's another thing about me is there was like 3 bands. I could name 3 bands that when they came to town, like I would never miss a show of theirs. And other bands, like it was weird. I didn't go to shows as much as you'd think a musician should, but now I'm like, I wish I would have gone to everything because there's nothing happening anymore. Yeah. So I'm hoping it'll be back soon. I don't know.
What 3 bands were those? What are those 3 bands?
So Green Day. We'll never miss a Green Day show. Who else? Bayside, which was actually the first tattoo I ever got was this little Bayside bird. It's like their logo. I got that when I was like 18, and they were one of the first bands I was like, after Green Day, I like know every Bayside song. I love those guys. And then I actually became good friends with their guitar player, Jack. And so now every time they come to town, I won't miss them. And then who else? Honestly, Alkaline Trio. I love Alkaline Trio.
Okay.
But I shouldn't say like, those are definitely like the 3, but I'm sure now like I could name a bunch more. But what's funny is like still I'm like, and I mean, if McCartney comes to town, I totally want to see him play too. But like as far as like, you know, yeah, I think those are honestly like the three artists that like I wouldn't really miss. Which I'm sure there's a ton more like that I would enjoy going to the shows, but like it's like I won't miss those three bands. Yeah.
Yeah. What was like one of your favorite shows to play ever that you ever played? If you remember.
Bending the Sets with Derek.
Huh? Benny the Jets and Derek. Yeah, that was whack.
Honestly, that was so fucking fun.
That was super fun. Yeah, I could have played a lot better, of course, but I think
ditto. But it was so fun. I mean, I can't even. I guess you can't really say it was like it wasn't my show. I just when I played on stage with the Green Day, it was like. I mean, I don't know how to really top that. Like that was like the coolest thing, and especially at the time, like they were. I mean, they're probably my favorite band just because, you know, it's like when you first start and you get into music, the band that got you into it is always like has a special place in your heart just because they're kind of what sparked everything for you. But yeah back then I was like that. They were like all I listened to. So to be able to do that was just like the coolest ever.
That's insane.
So that was probably. And that's when, honestly, it sounds so weird and like hippie, but like the power of manifestation, like seriously, like that was the moment that I was like, there's something to this because I remember, well, I don't have to tell the whole story because it's kind of boring, but how it all came about was like really cool how I got to play with them. But that was probably the coolest for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, the final five. What is the most important piece of gear, secret weapon, while on tour or in the studio?
A metronome, probably.
Interesting.
Because, like, I was going to say, like, sticks, but then it's like, well, how you could practice without sticks with just your hands and blah, blah, blah. And then I was thinking, like, it can't be cymbals because if you want to just practice, like, grooves, all you really need is, like, a kick and a snare and nothing else. So, but probably a metronome because without practicing to a metronome, I don't think you could really lock in, you know, and improve, I guess, in a lot of ways as a drummer.
Wow.
So, but I don't think ever like you shouldn't have to like you should get to the point where you don't need a metronome to stay in time. But how can you do that without practicing to one in the first place? So I think probably as a great utility that every drummer should, I think, utilize. I guess. Yeah.
Do you like using a click when you play? Like,
well, so whenever I'm like jamming to, you know, if I do a cover or something, I'll you know, if it's got a guitar in it, I'll cut the guitar to the metronome and then I'll just have that on and I'll track drums and then because usually when I track, I don't know about you guys, but like when I track drums, I always like to lay down drums first and then add everything on top just because it's kind of like what locks everything in. So whenever I'm recording something like for covers or videos, I'll always have the metronome on. And then whenever I'm practicing, I usually always have it on. And then if I don't, I catch myself and I'm like, I should really have it on. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's probably. I got to go back and watch the other interviews you've done and see what other people's answers are because that's cool.
Yeah, Roger, he's a man with two metronomes.
Roger Carter, yeah, he's John Five's drummer. He was, and then he Rick Springfield and Lita Ford. So he was, and he owns a studio. He says he always takes his secret weapon is 2 metronomes. Okay, number 2. Number two. Yo.
What is the most memorable or crazy story from the road? And that's the one.
This could be the one, or unless you have another one.
Crazy. Yeah, no, it would definitely be. Yeah. I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. So how it all came about, I'll make it a long story short.
Make it long. It's all good.
I was on my desktop computer, like I was probably 14 and there was like an ad popped. I think it was like, I don't know, an ad popped up in the sidebar, like win tickets to see Green Day in any of these 3 cities. And like, I was in a little town in Illinois and I think it was like LA, Vegas, and like New York or something. And I was like, well, you know what? Like, why not just do it? Like, I'm not gonna, worst case I win and then I can't go, but it's like, whatever. So I filled it out and like, I swear like 8 months went by totally forgot about it. And I got this call, and it was like a blocked number, but I answered it, and it was this guy like, hey, like you won tickets to see Green Day in Vegas. And I was like, I had totally forgot that I had even submitted to win the contest or whatever. And so I ended up winning. And the guy was like, so it's in Vegas. Like, are you able to get there? It's on August 21st at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. And I was like, oh, like, he's like, airfare is not included, but like you have tickets to get into the show or whatever. And I was like, how am I? I'm like, but my mom is like the most supportive. Like she's so great with like anything to do with like my passions and my hobbies. So I asked her, and she ended up buying us plane tickets to go out there to the show. And also my email address at the time was XXI Guns, which XXI is the Roman numeral for 21. And they have a song called 21 Guns. So I gave him my email address to send all the confirmation stuff to. And he's like, wow, like that's your email address. You must be like a really huge Green Day fan. Like, how about I'll throw in sound check tickets for you as well. So I was like freaking out. I was so stoked. And of course, like being a huge Green Day fan, I knew that they always brought somebody up to play Jesus of Suburbia. So I had just seen them a couple of weeks before, I think in Chicago. And everyone around me, all my, like the people I went with was like, when he was like looking for people, they were like, pick her. And I was like, no, because like I knew I didn't know the song. And so I recalled that moment, and I was like, okay, well, I won tickets to go over there. Like, I'm going to make sure that I learn this song, like note for note, perfectly, know everything about it. And I ended up making this sign, like on this huge sheet. I mean, it was literally like probably like 6 feet wide. And I wrote Jesus of Suburbia, which is the song. And then I wrote what key it was in, because I remembered that he had always, every time he brings someone up, he's like, can you really play it? Because if you can't play the song, he does not give a shit. He will fucking kick you off. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. He just does not give a shit. So I made sure I put the key on there, because then I figured, well, it'd save him a step of going, well, maybe this girl doesn't know really how to play it. So I figured if I know the key, he probably will be like, okay, she probably knows how to play the song. So I put the key it was in, and then I put pick me in like huge letters. And right after American Idiot, which is when they go into Jesus of Suburbia, like I was holding up the sign all during American Idiot. But what's weird is when I made the sign sitting in Chicago in my basement, my mom was like, why are you making this sign now? Like the concert's not till like next week. You could just like make it there, and then you don't have to travel with it. I'm like, no, like I'm making it now. I had it all envisioned. I'm like, I know exactly what it's going to look like when I hold up the sign. Like I want it to be this one. And I made it. And I swear to you, like, this is what I was talking about manifestation. And it's really the only time that I've had it this powerful. I was like, I'm going to play with them. And it wasn't like I don't know how I knew. It was just this feeling of like, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't afraid that he was going to go with somebody else. Like I just knew it was going to happen. And so I made the sign. We flew over there, and I brought a guitar with. I like played the whole song like a million times before we left to go to the show. And then we went to sound check and everything, and it was fun. And yeah, and then during the show, I just held up the sign, and the security guards kept trying to take it down. And I didn't. And so I just held it up. And then he, during American Idiot, like came over to this side of the stage, and I was like up in the seats. It wasn't even in general admission. And he like saw it. And I even have a video of him like looking at the sign and like seeing it and laughing. And then, yeah. And then he just ended up picking me. And it was like the weirdest thing in the world, because like, I don't know. It's always weird when people tell these stories, because it's like, oh, sure, like you knew, but it's like it's hard to explain. Like I just knew it was going to happen. So it was a whole series of events that kind of like led to that moment. So yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
God. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was so fun. So that was definitely like, I don't know how to top that. That was the best thing ever. So, but you know, yeah, I just can't believe either. It was like 2010 now. So yeah, 10, wow, a decade ago, which is wild. But yeah, so that was fun. That's my story.
Wow, that's so much more than just playing with your favorite band on a big ass stage. It's like, it's about spirituality and preparation. It's about, kicking ass and taking names and just being fucking ready.
Yeah, and it's like it really does, and it's like it's not like, and people always think, oh, that's like bullshit, but it's not like you're not literally magically like doing some spell and like making something happen. It's like the more you think about something and reflect on something, the more inclined you are to like to go in that direction to make things happen yourself. So you're still making them happen yourself, but by enforcing it and telling yourself things over and over again, like you're staying aware and keeping it at the forefront of your mind, which like draws it closer to you, I guess. So I don't know. At first too, whenever I heard about like manifestation and like power of like writing stuff down and like saying it every day, it's like, that's like, how can that fucking work? But it does, because you're like reminding yourself to stay focused on stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now we know you're psychic.
Yeah, now we know.
What number are you thinking right now? Oh wait, no, 1 to 10. Derek, tell him what number you're thinking. I'm going to try and guess it. What if I 1 through 10?
Okay, let me write it down. I'll write it down. 1
I'm
through
not
10.
I'm totally not going to get it, just so you know. But I've just for the hell.
You're like, hey, just tell him, like in the front of the screen.
Yeah.
I'll just write that.
I'm not going to get it, but.
Let's see. You see it?
Okay, I see it.
Okay, it's a tough one. All right.
It's a tough one.
I don't know what that means. I mean,
That threw me off.
it's...
Is that 4?
Oh no! I'll give you one more chance.
Oh, dude, you made me get. I was like, damn, like I got this. Okay, I was originally gonna say 7, but then you said it's a tough one, and 7's not tough.
No, it's not tough. Yeah, exactly.
6.
No.
Dude, I'm gonna get it eventually, and then you can just cut it in, and then be like, damn, like she got it.
Yeah.
8.
No, 8. No.
9.
No.
I'm not getting it at all.
No.
1.
No.
Holy shit! Look at me. For the whole goddamn time.
3.
You did it!
That is my lucky number. 3 is my lucky number, and I was
Really?
gonna say 3, but no one picks 3.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, 7. You think 7? Everyone's in the middle. No, but 3. You got it. You got it, Brittany Bowman. Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna edit.
So crazy. Why?
We got it.
I literally been holding it the whole time.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've just been like, so funny.
Yeah, I was like, look over here, Brittany.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but also with your story, I was thinking like if I was the one making the sign, I would completely forget to learn the song. Like I would get up there, I would just like get the best sign ever.
And just be like, yeah.
And then he picks me up and I'm like, oh god damn it, what song is this?
Yeah.
Oh god damn.
That's so funny. Yeah, it was so fun. Super fun.
Damn.
Number 3.
Speaking of number 3, what? This is my favorite. This is my favorite question to ask. What are your tips for songwriting?
Oh gosh. Well, I think the biggest thing that I've learned, which I've actually not been in the songwriting game for a minute because I've just been practicing and doing sessions and stuff, but like I kind of mentioned earlier, is taking time away is just as important as taking time to write.
Right.
So, which is like, of course, like if you're in the zone, like don't just like take yourself away. But I've definitely been in moments where it's like, I so badly want to write something great. And I sit down and I just like, I get hard on myself and I'm like, why can't you come up with something? And then I force myself to try and think harder. And it's like, that's just the worst thing to do, I think, when you're trying to come up with something, because A, it's forced, B, then you're just frustrated and nothing good's going to come when you're frustrated. So I think for me, definitely would be like taking time away can be just as beneficial to the writing process as sitting down and actually writing, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well put. Yep. I agree.
Cool.
Awesome. That's it. I have nothing else to say to that. I usually have a comment, but that's awesome. That's it.
You left him
Yeah.
speechless.
Wait, just out of curiosity, like what's what would your quick tip be for that?
Solitude. Being completely alone is,
That's true too.
yeah, if you're in a room.
Okay, I should say that too. Like coming back full circle, which it's not really, you're not with somebody, but especially like even with practicing, like my phone will be such a distraction. Like just having my phone.
Yeah. See, you're not even, not really alone.
You're not there.
Exactly.
I like having my dog with me, but that's kind of different. But yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm like behind a closed door, I could talk out loud. I get really weird when I write. So I like pace the room. I talk out loud. I discuss what I want to say. I say it out loud and I disagree with myself. No, that's wrong. You shouldn't say that. And I'm like really openly weird. And the more
cool,
alone
though.
I am, the more. But now I've been writing with a lot more writers and stuff. And I still try to do that in front of them. So I'm like, and they're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, and then it's been very
Totally.
successful. So yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, what kind of meth are you on?
Yeah. That's my method.
Yeah,
I use
Oh
very
my God.
good methods. But
That's cool though. Yeah, that's cool because being alone too, that's so true because you can truly like just be in your own thoughts and without any distractions. Yeah.
yeah, you're like in space. You're like, it's just, the possibilities are endless. It's like you're like looking into space because no one's like really, I don't know, when you're alone, I envision space too. I'm like looking at things. I'm like, ooh,
That's
look,
cool.
planets. Like I could just do this color or this palette for this or whatever. It's like,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good to know.
Good to know. All right.
let the kid out kind of thing.
Let the kid out. Let the kid
That's
play.
yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
always say that. Just make sure that you let the kid out. So then the adult in you will try to fix it. The kid will just let it happen.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I like that. That's so true.
and do drugs.
Do a bunch of drugs. Number 4!
What is your favorite liquor technique that has helped your playing?
Liquor technique that has helped your playing.
And this is something I struggle with, so I shouldn't, and I do greatly need to work on it, but slow the fuck down. Like, I will get behind the kit and hear something really cool, or I'll hear a song and I'll be playing along to like Spotify or something and hear something that like I really wanted to nail. And instead of just being like, okay, break it down, put on your metronome to like half the speed and just learn it slowly and then slowly pick it up. It's amazing how muscle memory works. Like your brain will just, it's like you can't like a paradiddle, like right, left, left, right, left. Like you literally can't think that as fast as you could actually play it. But if you build up your hands to be able to do it without even having to think about it, you're good. But if you cut out that beginning step of doing it slowly, where you can actually teach your muscles and that like brain muscle connection, like what the movements are, you're like cutting out, it's like building a house on a, shitty foundation. Like it's not going to work. So, and that's something I still to this day struggle with because I get so excited and I just want to play fun stuff and like go fast, but like slowing down and just starting slow and building it up. It's like, it's almost like magic. Like you just get it one day and it's just like, whoa, like how'd that happen? So yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, no one's ever said that before. And that's so important. You're right. Me too. I'm like, fuck, I just want to know how to do it already. But that's so true. It's just, you gotta be patient and just like do it slowly.
Patience.
Yeah, I wish you said that to drummers when I was in high school, because I played with in bands where guys can play like Raining Blood or fucking some Slayer shit, and then they can't play AC/DC.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously, yeah.
It's like
Yep.
blast beats and fucking double pedal the whole time, but you can't do 2 and 4
Well,
to save your life.
And that's kind of why, like, as much as I love like crazy gospel chop stuff or like grooves or like insane whatever fills and chops, like so many of the drummers that I look up to, well, of course, it's always good to work on that style of playing and have that in your arsenal to kind of like pull out and be able to do. Like, I just more than anything want to be like a groovy, good, solid like drummer, because if you can't do that stuff, I mean, take away everything else. If you just want to jam with someone, like you're not going to be sitting there like doing all these crazy chops and like playing really fast. Like you people want to groove and like feel the beat. So it's like, I really want to just focus on that above all else, and then, work my way to other stuff. But yeah, totally agree. Like the simple stuff is often like, it's the stuff that you move to, like you like nod your head to. It's like not crazy weird stuff. It's like the simple grooves. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like that guy in the other room right now.
Yeah.
dude, I know this is
It was
so loud.
It's loud. It was cool though. It started right when you right when you started to answer. Like, this is the technique. I hate to sound like a broken record, but boom, cow, boom, boom, cow, boom, boom. Gotta slow it down, man. It's like perfect commercial.
So funny. He's good about that though. Like he'll be in here and he'll he'll do that for like an hour, like that beat. And it's just like, damn, because if you do, like, that's the thing. It's like, start slow, like be consistent. Like it'll get you faster, farther, you know, than anything else will. So yeah.
Faster, farther.
Damn. I wonder who's in that room. Jason Bonham? What does it say? Jason Bonham.
Yeah, we'll say it's Jason Bonham for the clickbait.
Yeah.
Featuring Brittany Bowman featuring Jason Bonham during the final.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5, the last question. This is Mike. Oh, I'm asking this.
Yeah.
Okay. Arthur's turning it around.
What the fuck?
I don't know what you're trying to do. Okay. The last question. What is the... Oh, I like this one too. What is the best advice you would give a person looking to do what you do?
Do it because you truly love it. Don't do it for any other reason. Like, do it because you're passionate about it. And if you're truly passionate about it, like, don't stop just because you know, for any reason. If it's something that you're really passionate about, keep doing it because it'll pay off eventually, I think.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
So well put, well said again. Yes, just that's all.
Yeah, just keep going. And then
just keep going. And I mean, even me, like, that's almost advice to myself too, because often, especially with like COVID and this year and everything, it's like I'm sure everyone at some point feels like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm not really getting as far as I want to be, or whatever. I'm not progressing. But like, and also like looking back on from where I was 2 years ago, it's like you do see progress, but when you're just in your own head, you kind of forget. But also like persistence too, because I think so many more people would actually make it if they were more persistent and get, like, I feel like so many people that ended things might have had a better chance if they just would have stuck with it. So sometimes like persistence too. Yeah.
That's so true. Brendan Buckley. You know Brendan Buckley, right?
Yeah. Not personally. I mean, I've met him a couple times, but yeah.
The other BB.
The other BB. Better BB.
The other BB gun.
The BB.
Yeah, he was like, he said the same thing. He's just like, if you're persistent, this business doesn't want like the best, or it's not necessarily asking for like, it does want the best. It's not necessarily asking for the best. It's just whoever hangs on will get it, you know, and that's
exactly. And I love that too, because that's another thing too, I should say, like if someone was looking to do what I'm doing or whatever, it would, same thing in a, I guess, would be, don't be discouraged that you're not, you know, freaking this person who's way up here or whatever, because there's so much room for, if you're, I mean, I can name like a Tre Cool cannot go and shed gospel chops like, you know, so many drummers can, but he's so good at what he does. And there is not another Tre Cool out there that could do what he does. So it's like, and that's something I need to tell myself too, because it's like, why can't I do this? I get frustrated. I should just give up. But it's like, there's enough room. If you're having fun and you're doing music and it's what you love, like, you don't necessarily have to be, there's not levels. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to be the best of the best. Like if you enjoy it and you're having fun with it, like, that's honestly the most important thing, because even if someone sucked, but they were having so much fun doing it, who cares? Yeah.
It's kind of like be yourself more. Because if you're yourself and you're happy with yourself, then it doesn't matter what the fuck happens.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the thing about Steve Jobs. Like the whole Steve Jobs story was like, he wasn't trying to make like the biggest technology thing in the world, or he wasn't trying to be like the next whatever. He was literally just so passionate about making like a really crazy great product, and he wasn't focused on anything but that. And that's when I feel like, and kind of like similar to what you're doing, Derek, is it's like you're just being authentically yourself. And I find that like often that's the people that succeed, because you can see that like people aren't stupid. Like they can see it through all the, you know, the bullshit. So
yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Wow.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Super deep.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs trying to be Tre Cool Playing Gospel.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to do the whole time.
He was. Indeed. Those are good questions though. I like those. Good. But thank you for doing this. It was so fun, and I'm so honored to have been part of this. So.
Yes, thank you, Brittany Bowman.
Thank you for being on the show. It was super fun and awesome.
Yes, keep an eye out for her. She's going to be huge. She's an amazing drummer. Also, her and I are doing a collab, and that will be out very soon.
Hell yeah, guys. And check out the links below so you guys can give her some work if you guys need a drummer or anything.
Yep. Yeah.
So hook you guys up. But also, please, guys, like and subscribe because it really helps us keep on keeping on.
Yes. Yes. It'll make us very happy for Christmas.
Hell yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.